Penn State should have received the death penalty, the banning of their football program for a whole year instead of the slow death that was issued by the NCAA today. Now, I love football, especially when it comes to my Florida State Seminoles, and there's no doubt in anybody's mind that Penn State deserved the punishment it received today, deserved the punch in the mouth, the disdain that everybody treats them with, the horror that we greet what has taken place there over the last 14 years. Keep that in mind, 14 years. But the NCAA got it wrong. It should have issued this death penalty. Maybe it should have issued it for as much as 14 years, 1 year for every year of the cover-up. But unquestionably, it should have issued it for a year. And frankly, Penn State would probably have preferred it if they had done that now that they've seen the punishment that they've actually got. In addition to everything else, in addition to this slow death, this big fine, this lack of scholarships, when they do actually take the field, in footballing terms, they're going to suck. They're going to suck bad. Nobody's going to want to wear that uniform. Who's going to want to wear the lion on their helmet? Who's going to want to wear those colors, the reminders of Joe Paterno and everything that program stood for? Who's going to want to do that? They should have taken away the wins. They did take away the wins. That's more about removing the record than the physical wins. Of course, everybody who took part in the wins is going to remember that they won a game of football. But the records could not stand. They could not have Joe Paterno, a man who covered up child rape for 14 years, as the most winningest coach in all of football. That could not stand, and so they did the right thing. They absolutely should have imposed the fine, the $60 million, because hopefully that money will do some good. It's not just going to line the pockets of those at the NCAA. It's actually going to be used for victims of child rape. That's a good thing. The rest of it, the scholarships, all that other stuff that they've taken away, the probation period, everything else, is effectively going to kill that program in a very slow way. No question. No question. And you know what? If they'd have done it, if they'd have done what they should have done, which is issued the death penalty, then every week this season when somebody was supposed to play Penn State and they got an extra bye, they'd remembered, oh yeah, Penn State's being punished. Their programs would have remembered. Their programs would have realized that there are actually things more important than football, especially on a college campus. They'd have done the right thing. It would have sent that message. That's what's really, really important. If they'd have done that, then a year from now, they could have come back with a new staff, a new coach, new players. They could have turned the lights back on again, and they would have had a new attitude as well. The black mark on their name and their history would have remained forever, as it's going to anyway. But at least they could have begun a new era, which is what is needed. Unfortunately, the culture at Penn State, which is the most serious problem of all, still remains. That culture that says the statue shouldn't have been removed. Even Paterno's family were demonstrating about that over the weekend. That culture that keeps his name on a library. That culture that has people today going, too harsh, too harsh. That's what needs to change. The slow death will not enable that to change. The quick death for 1 year would have done so. Thank you.